Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what one old woman set out to do. She lived in a small, forgotten village in India. No roads, no schools, no hospital, just a wall of rock cutting them off from the rest of the world. A mountain, cold and silent, stood like a no, carved into the land. It had always been there, unmoving, untouchable. People said, that's just the way it is. But one morning, without telling anyone, the woman picked up an old rusty shovel and walked straight toward the mountain. No speech, no crowd, no plan, just her and the rocks. Some laughed, others shook their heads. She's lost it, they said. But she didn't turn around. She put the shovel into the dirt and took the first scoop. One small action against something massive. Was it foolish? Maybe. Was it impossible? Maybe. But she started anyway. Every morning, she came back. Same woman, same shovel, same mountain. No shortcuts, no help. Just the sound of metal hitting stone. She dug when the sun burned her skin. She dug when rain turned the ground to mud. Her hands blistered. Her back ached. But her rhythm never changed. Dig, breathe, dig again. There were no cameras, no applause, no "you got this" signs. Just a woman against a mountain and a world that had already decided she would fail. People mocked her. You'll die before you even make a dent, they said. She's wasting her time. But she kept going, not with anger, not with shouting, just quiet, stubborn movement, one scoop at a time. This wasn't just digging, it was rebellion. Not loud, not dramatic, just steady, unshakable. She didn't care how long it would take. She didn't wait for permission. She just showed up, every single day. Years passed. The woman aged. Her hair turned silver. Her steps slowed. But she kept digging. At first, kids would watch her like she was part of the mountain itself. Just there. Always. Then something strange happened. One day, a child brought her water. Another picked up a small rock and moved it aside. Not because they thought she'd succeed, but because they started to wonder, what if she does? The villagers, once busy laughing, started to pause, just for a second, just to see how far she'd come. A narrow crack had formed in the mountain. Nothing big, just enough to make people stop and stare. And in that pause, something shifted. Maybe it wasn't all madness. Maybe it was courage. Hope is weird like that. It sneaks in when no one's looking. And sometimes it starts with just one person refusing to quit. She never asked for help, never knocked on doors or gave speeches. But one by one, people started showing up. Someone brought her a better shovel. Someone else offered shade. They called her Ma, a quiet sign of respect, not for power, but for persistence. She was still digging, still bent over stone, but now she wasn't alone. The mountain didn't look smaller, the work didn't get easier, but the spirit of the village shifted. They no longer saw a crazy old woman. They saw proof that action, no matter how small, could move things that once felt untouchable. A path began to form, rough, uneven, but real. One person started it. Others joined, not because they believed it would work, but because they couldn't ignore her anymore. Some changes don't come with big moments. They begin with someone showing up again and again until the world starts paying attention. Decades had passed. She was older now, fragile, slower, but her will, strong as ever. The crack in the mountain had become a path, just wide enough for one person to walk through, then two, then a cart. The impossible was no longer an idea. It was visible, touchable, a real road carved by hand. And then, finally, the mountain gave up. Not with a crash, not all at once, just quietly, like it knew it had lost. People from other villages came to see it. Some cried, some stood in silence, not because they couldn't believe the path was real, but because they couldn't believe she had done it. No machines, no funding, no project manager, just grit, one shovel, and a woman who never stopped moving forward. The mountain hadn't just been a wall of rock. It was every "you can't" the world throws at you. And now, there was a road through it. She never asked for applause. She didn't pose for photos. When the road was finally complete, she just kept walking, like she always had. When people asked why she did it, she said, because it needed to be done. No big words, no drama, just truth. Her story spread, not as a headline, but as a whisper. A quiet reminder passed from one person to the next. You don't need to be strong, rich, young, or famous to change something. You just need to begin. She became a legend, not because she wanted to, but because she proved something few dare to believe, that steady hands and a stubborn heart can break through anything. The mountain didn't move for the world. It moved for the one who refused to stop digging. This story is inspired by a real person, Dashrath Manji, known as the Mountain Man of India, who carved a path through a mountain with his hands over 22 years. His quiet strength became a loud legacy,